Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Lala and you're watching LALA Level Up. I don't even know what I titled today's video yet. Like, I'm still trying to come up with a title. But in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how when you grow up, like when you level up, when you're on another level in life, a lot of people that you grew up with, they still try to little girl you. They still try to little bro you. They don't see you for who you are now. I've definitely experienced that, and I've talked to other people too who can really relate. When you get to another level, like, I'm not the same person I was when I was 16, when I was 15, when I was in middle school, high school. Like, that's not who I am now at the age of 29 years old. And not everything is about age too, because there are people who are my age who are still very childish and immature. And I think that experience matters more than your age. It used to bother me when I started making changes within myself. Like, my mindset started changing, the way I lived my life started changing. And I felt like the people around me, not all of them, but some people around me, they weren't grasping the fact that I'm changing, that I'm different, that I'm trying to better myself. A lot of people like you when you in struggle, when you down and out, because they can relate to that too. Like, a lot of people bond off of like their hardships, and they bond off of like struggle. A lot of people do. I even remember this relationship I was in a couple years ago. Maybe I'll talk about that too one day, like in depth. But I remember I was dating somebody, and this actually happened a couple times in my life. That's crazy. Like, so like attracts like, opposites attract, but energy, like energy attracts like energy. So like, at this point, like, I was like super depressed and I was going through it. So it's only natural that I would attract somebody with that same energy. I was down and out, and I attracted somebody who was also down and out, who was depressed. So we were two depressed people just bonding off of our depression. And then when I started like leveling up and I started getting out of my funk, they were like still in their funk. So I felt like, not that they were unhappy to see me getting out of it, but I felt like maybe they felt like they could no longer relate to me. Maybe that thing that kept us together, that bond of our depression, now was broken, because now I'm no longer depressed. So what do we have to bond about when there is no depression? Like, are we really compatible? And I think in some ways we weren't, and in some ways we were. But I definitely experienced that a couple of times in my life, where like the people I would date would line up with the energy that I'm currently feeling. Like, I think when you're in an abundant energy and you're happy and you're positive, I think it makes sense for you to attract someone who's also in that field, in that lane. You know what I'm saying? Even though dusty people could come at you at any point in time, like, dusty people gonna shoot their shot whenever they want. Like, if you get dusty sent your way, don't think it's because you dusty. Like, the dusties, they just, dust, it just be all up in the air. They're gonna come around. But like, getting into actual relationships, be mindful of who you're meeting when you're not in a good place, and when you are in a good place too. That can be a sign, an indication to let you know if this is something I should continue or not. But besides relationships, I think that a lot of people struggle with seeing you in a new perspective, because now that I'm changed, you have to see me for who I am now. And I think that can be uncomfortable for people, or even some people can be envious and be like, oh, who she thinks she is. Like, she thinks she better than somebody. She thinks she better than me. People's insecurities, they start to come out. Like, those projections end up coming out. And it's like, I don't feel that way about me. Maybe you feel that way about me, and that's why you're saying it, because I've never said that. I don't think I'm better than anyone because I've made changes in my life, because I still have changes to make, and I'm not perfect. I'm never gonna be perfect, but I'm not who I was 10 years ago. I'm just not. And like I said, that's not to say that I'm a perfect person, but it is to say that I'm constantly trying to work on myself, because I want to be the best version of myself that I could be while I'm here on planet Earth. And even with respect, I've noticed too that there were times where when I was on like my level up journey and I was going through a period of transformation, I feel like I started to see some people's true colors about me, and their disrespect started to come out subtly or subconsciously, but I would be peeping it. And then it made me think, like, are you like a solid person for real? Because you should be able to rock with me through all of my phases in life, especially when I'm changing for the better. Now, if I was going down the wrong path, speak on it, help me, lead me, guide me into a better direction. But when you see I'm leveling up and I'm doing good and I'm making changes and I'm reaching my goals, you should be nothing but happy for me and not try to keep me down. not try to like lower me. Like for everybody who's watching my channel who is on a level up journey, self-love journey, finding yourself, self-discovery, knowing who you are, finding out what you love, what you don't love, who you want to be, who you don't want to be. What do you really want out of this life? What do you want life to provide to you? And what are you going to provide to the world in exchange? When you are changing, there are going to be people who fall off. There's going to be people who, they just cannot accept you for who you are now. Either they're envious or they just don't understand, or it makes them feel insecure because for some reason they're not leveling up. They're not allowing themselves to level up. And leveling up is literally what it sounds like. Level up. You're a level up than where you used to be. You're growing. You're progressing. You're flourishing. You know, when you're going through this level up journey, self-love, self-discovery journey, you only need supportive individuals around you. Only. And if you don't have those supportive individuals around you, then it's best for you to get in a place of isolation and separation for a moment in time, for you to just go internal, you know, because you don't need no negativity around you. You don't need any negative words, negative thoughts, negative energy. Like, you don't need none of that around you. You don't need people who are doubting you. You don't need nobody looking at you with that evil eye. Like, you just don't. So either during that time of leveling up, you're going to be around supportive people, or you're just going to be around yourself. Because you got to protect your energy. You got to protect your mind, your body, your soul. Like, you're transcending into a whole new being. Like, when you level up for it, I'm talking about like a spiritual level up. Like the level up is internal. The level up is internal. Whatever happens on the outside, like, that's after. The hair, the makeup, the looks, the body. Men, I'm talking to y'all too, getting in shape. Like, all of that's after. When I talk about level up, I'm talking about an internal level up. I have not made one video about how you should level up your wardrobe and your hair and your looks. I'm not talking about none of that. All of that is like, I don't want to say secondary, but yeah, it is secondary when we're talking about internal work you need to do type shit. Oh my gosh, the sun is going down. I really was trying to get the sunset. Let me help with the video. So y'all, I love you so much. And I made this video because I really want you to pay attention to those people who you feel like are being like a negative Nancy in your ear. You might not understand everything I'm doing, but just know whatever I'm doing it to be better for me. And if you see people who are just not getting with the program, like, you don't understand, like, I'm not into the old stuff I was into. Let's say, for example, you used to do drugs, like hard drugs, right? And you don't do them hard drugs no more. Like, you on a new path. You're doing good. You focused on religion. Let's say now you're a Christian. You ain't trying to do no drugs. And you just got that one friend who just does not get the fact that you're no longer a junkie and now you're focused on your Christianity. Why don't you just understand that that's not me? I don't care how long I've been that person. It doesn't matter how long you were that junkie. Once you decide that you are no longer that and you're moving on to a better route, that's when everybody in your life needs to get on board. And the people who do not get on board, they get left. And it doesn't mean you don't love them, and it doesn't mean you love them any less. All it means is that where I'm going, you might not be able to come because it seems like you're not getting with the program. Like, you mentally cannot compute that I'm no longer who I used to be. And when you just let go and move forward, you attract people around you who will support you. It's okay to let people fall down to the wayside if they just don't see you for who you are now. You have to respect me for who I am now. When I put up boundaries, you respect those boundaries, or my presence in your life is no longer. When I say something, I mean it. And when I say and when I show that I'm moving into a higher trajectory in my life, and I hear you trying to bring me back to the old girl I used to be, then that is a clear indication for me to know that I need to let you go with love. I really hope that you guys took something from this video. Continue to level up. Continue to be the best you that you can be. Continue to grow and blossom and bloom into you. I love y'all so much. If nobody ever told you they loved you today or ever, I love you. And as always, you can be, do, and have whatever you desire. You are limitless. Until next time, LALA, level up.